Alright, I have a big favor to ask of you guys, but before I get to that, I want to tell you a quick story. This is a true story. I'm not going to use real names, though. About a little over a year and a half ago, I got contacted by a guy named Mike, and I get tons of these instant messages and emails on the daily. But he was looking at retiring in the next year, and he was going to pick up a fishing kayak. He wanted to get a pedal-driven kayak. Now, Mike, like a lot of the folks who end up gravitating towards my channel, didn't have a ton of fishing experience, had done some fishing from the bank, but wanted a small watercraft that he could get out in, that was affordable, that he could transport easily, that he could launch easily by himself. So I recommended, we ended up deciding that the Sportsman's PDL 120, which is a really nice, stable kayak. It's pretty easy to handle, especially loading it in and out of the back of a truck, which is what he was going to do. So he ended up buying a Sportsman's PDL 120, and then he was just working his way towards getting it, the rod holders all fitted on there and fish finder installed and all that stuff. And of course he was working on this through the winter. And he just seemed like he was just a really nice guy. One of those guys who really struggled with being told how to do things, needed to be shown. So I spent a lot of time going out in my garage and just showing him how I'd done things and referencing videos that I'd done in the past. And he just reminded me of so many of the older anglers that I've mentored, and that he wanted to get into kayak fishing because he'd just been stuck on the bank. He'd been working his whole life and just didn't have time for himself because of the demands of his job, and also because of the demands of his job, his physical health wasn't great, right? Because he said that he basically had to stay in one place when he was at work, and he couldn't be physically active, and he was too fatigued to exercise when he got home. So he wanted to get a kayak, also help a little bit with improving his physical health. Anyways, in the winter time, so wasn't a ton of communication going on. And then all of a sudden I saw on his Facebook feed that he was selling his kayak, and I was a little bit confused because I know that he was really, really looking forward to it. So I messaged him about the kayak being for sale. I said, what happened? Did you end up deciding on going with another watercraft, or what is it that led you to decide to sell it? Because he just seemed like he was so excited by it. A week or two and nothing happened. So I actually replied to the sale ad and tried again to see if I can get in contact with them, and I did get a reply, and it was from his wife. And unfortunately, Mike had passed away unexpectedly while he was at work. And it really struck me. It really hit home for me. He never got to fish from that kayak. Because it was very wet, cold winter in Central California. I don't know. It sort of just drove home this message that we don't have as much time as we think. Over the past many years, I've just seen so many people putting off things, and bucket lists and dreams that they've always wanted to do, things that are 100% achievable, but they just don't do it. They don't make it happen, and they always say they're going to, and then they just run out of time, right? I saw this a lot when I worked in retail. There were guys who would come in and just shop every day, and they would ask about this fishery and that fishery, and I'd get them all rigged up for it, and they'd buy all the tackle for it, and I'd give them tons of advice on how to have success out there. And then I'd see them a few days later, I'm like, well, how'd that trip go? They're like, oh, I decided not to go, I see this all the time. I see it in my followers too, unfortunately, the same sort of dreamer behavior, but not do it behavior. It's really frustrating for me because it's not that hard to just go and do these things. So that's the favor that I want to ask of you. I want you to get out there and do it. instead of just dreaming about it. And to hold you to account, I want you to tell me what your bucket list trip is in the comment section. Now, your bucket list doesn't have to be like some like crazy adventure on the other side of the planet, right? This can just be like a lake that you've always wanted to fish nearby. It can be taking a friend or a family member out to your favorite local lake, something that you've always wanted to do with them, but you've just been putting it off. Or it can be flying halfway across the world to chase some fish that you just always captured your imagination. Or maybe it's a unique experience. Maybe it's trying kayak fishing for the first time, or maybe it's trying jet ski fishing. I don't know, or just trying a whole new form of fishing. These small adventures that expand our horizons and just make life more fulfilling are worth pursuing. I don't want people to end up like Mike did, where he just had all these dreams and aspirations of doing these amazing things, but then he never got that opportunity. It eluded him. I just don't want people to end up in situations where they have regrets about not going out there and doing those things that they always wanted to do. It doesn't even have to be fishing related, right? Like the whole world doesn't revolve around fishing, even though I love it immensely and I'm very passionate about it. So let me know in the comments section below, what's your achievable bucket list trip that you want to do? And if there's one that's like even like crazy way out there that you're gonna have to plan for many years, still put it on there. Aspire to do that. I'm gonna come back and chase you in the comments section periodically and be like, how's it going on getting to that goal? I'm gonna hold you to account. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye.